football over. And he's going to have to start playing better against the better competition, because ultimately that's how we're judged. We're not judged by putting up stats against willy-nilly teams. Let's go back to what we would consider big games. 2 games against the Chiefs. I don't count the first game because that was a rookie start. That was like his second start, Skip. So the 2 games against the Chiefs, the playoff game against the Titans. So here it is. In big games, he's 1-6, 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 53% completion, 6 yards per attempt, 14 turnovers.
What do you call him, the one?
Huh?
Who's the one that he beat? I don't know which one you're saying.
Well, he did. He beat the Steelers one time.
Okay.
But he had 3, Skip, he had 3 interceptions in that game and then won in overtime.
Okay.
Skip. So in his other 24 starts, he's 23-1, 47-8, 47 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 65% completion, 7.9 yards per attempt, 13 turnovers. Skip, he has more turnovers in his losses in the big games than he has against everybody else in all the other games.
Yep.
And maybe the Dolphins in 72 can say, you know what? We ran ourselves to a Super Bowl. But since they invented the forward pass, the lad, Skip, you're not running your way to a Super Bowl. I don't care if Lamar rushes for 1,800 yards, because teams will force you to throw a football. And it's starting to wear on his teammates, especially those on the offensive side. That since deleted tweet by Hollywood Brown. What's the sense in having soldiers if you're not going to use them?
And that's his buddy from Miami,
Skip,
right? I thought they were like soulmates.
Yeah, we are soulmates, but let me tell you, it gets very hard to block 40 times a game when I only get 1 attempt, 1 target my way. It's hard. It wears on you because you keep telling, oh, yeah, we going to throw it. And Lamar, Skip, as great as Lamar, and he was the MVP, if you add it up through all of his playing, he's still under 200 yards throwing the ball per game.
Yep.
Skip, you can't win long-term like that.
You cannot.
And the Steelers says, we dare you to beat us. Just take the flat. Lamar, you had the running back, you had the fullback in the flat. Take the flat. Don't try to get the ball. There's a reason why the guy picked it. Because he's thinking. He'll give you that. But you won't take it. Lamar, you don't have to be great on every play. Once Lamar Jackson realizes that, Skip, he's going to be fine. Everything does not have to be Madden. Everything does not have to be historically great on every play. He tries to make everything spectacular. He tries to make everything a highlight, and it's getting him in trouble.
Yep.
And that's the problem. So he's going to have to beat. Mahomes not going anywhere for the next 10, Skip. He's not. Big Ben is in his division, and seems like he's found a resurgence. So the guy that, and you see, Indy is coming. In order for Lamar to get to where he needs to be, Skip, I don't care how you do it. When you was in the AFC, you had to beat Brady, you had to beat Manning. If you wanted to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, Skip, you had to beat those for 2 decades. Now Brady's going to the NFC. So he's opened it up. Now you got to go through, you're going to have to go through my homeboy. So Lamar, you're going to have to play better, Skip. He's going to have to play better than what he played yesterday, because he honestly, Skip, to be honestly blunt, he killed the Ravens yesterday.
He did. They actually put up great yards. They did a lot of great things, but if you turn it over 4 times, even at home, to their 1, you're going to lose.
They're going in to score. He fumbles.
Okay.
17-7. He lets Pittsburgh right back in when he throws the interception in the flat.
I mean, look at the total yards. Lamar's offense at 457 to Ben's 221. Ben was only 3 of 9 on 3rd down. Lamar was 8 of 15. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's normally win your game.
All right, that'll win it. Time of possession, you dominated that. 35 minutes to 25 minutes. Can't turn it over 4 times. Maybe twice you could get away with, but you can't get away with 4. I thought you just nailed it when you said you don't have to be Madden. I think Lamar is becoming a victim of his hype, because he's a great kid. He's a try-hard. He wants so badly to do this right. But in the back of your head, I got to be. I got to live up. What do they want me to be? We're going to talk to Michael Vick about this. Was Michael Vick experience in Atlanta?
Yeah.
It started to happen to Michael, where, I got to put on a show. No, you just got to win.
Win.
You got to protect the football. and make the plays that are there for you to make.
Right.
And sometimes they're with your legs, and when you take off, you can just gash them.
Right.
Nobody can run the way you can in pro football. He's the most elusive open field runner there is in the game. But if you're going to try to make a 4th and 3 play down near the goal line by cutting it up the middle, you're not Derrick Henry. So on the play he tried to, I think we have the play, you know, this is the last big turnover. He tries to make 4th and 3 with pure guts and heart and will.
They called a quarterback draw.
Well, they did. No, I got it. But they're putting the game in his hands.
Yes.
And that defense is just too hellacious physical. You are going to get met at point of attack, and he did, and he just tried to stretch the football forward and lost it. It didn't matter because you didn't get to the line.
I don't know if
anyway.
96 is Ziggy Hood, but he made a tremendous play on the center. The center had it, and he says, I'm fighting over the top, and he made it. Because if he doesn't make that play, Skip, I believe Lamar gets the first down.
So here's my issue with Lamar. Again, I can't defend him today, even though I picked the Ravens to win it all this year because he was the reigning MVP.
Right.
I'm just looking at his 4 big home losses. 2 playoff games, one Monday night against Mahomes, and one yesterday against Big Ben Roethlisberger, their first meeting because Ben was obviously out last year. Okay, so what do we have in these 4 games? 2 ugly playoff losses at home.
Right.
Even though he put up some numbers in garbage time against the Titans last year, they fell behind so quickly and he turned it over so rapidly that he tried to rally them and put up big numbers because he did run with the football. He had 143 rush yards against the Titans, but they lost 28-12. So here's the problem. In those 4 games, if you combine the 4, 2 playoffs games, losses, Mahomes at home, and then what happened yesterday, his QBR for those 4 games is 24. It's pathetic, scale 0 to 100. And he has 10 total turnovers in 4 games. You're going to lose. You're at home. You're at home. You got 2 home playoff games.
Those are good teams. If you get to the playoffs, Skip, really, with the exception, it might not be true this year in the NFC East. But normally those teams that's in the playoffs, they're pretty good. And if you look at Skip, you mentioned this year against the Chiefs, he threw for 97 yards. Yesterday, he was under 50% passing with 2 interceptions.
He was.
In today's game, Skip, now, when I was in the league in the 90s, and when you play, if a quarterback completed 50+% of his passes, man, that was pretty good. 60 was unheard of with the way they played.
Not now.
If you only complete 50% of your passes, right now, 60% is not good. With the way they protect the quarterback and the way the field is spread open, he was less than 50%. You can't win like that.
And by the way, those 4 home losses that I just detailed, he was 73 of 144. That's 51%. It's not good enough to win.
Not good enough.
Nope, you're better than that. And against the average or below average teams last year, he was the MVP because he shredded them by throwing darts. There would be games, I remember a game at Buffalo last year, he just took my breath away. He's just dropping dimes, throwing darts. I'm saying, this is unbelievable.
Remember the Monday night game out here against the Rams? He had another perfect quarterback rating. He opened the season with 5 touchdown passes over 300 yards against Miami. And you're like, that was an aberration. And then we saw what he did, the one game, you saw what he did against the Patriots, Skip. We saw that Sunday night game, how Coach Belichick has an answer for everything. There's not a problem that hasn't been solved that Coach Belichick didn't solve it. He had no answer for this kid. But you look at what he's done against Kansas. You're going to have to beat, if you want to get somewhere, you have to beat Kansas City.
Right now, you're going to have to beat Pittsburgh just to get out of this.
Well, Pittsburgh right now, there's only 1 bye now. Remember, the 2-bye system is over. Only 1 bye. And Pittsburgh right now is 2 games ahead of the Ravens. Lamar's going to have to play better, Skip. He's going to have to be more consistent. He's going to have to throw the football. Teams are going to say, Lamar, we are not going to let you beat us with our legs.
So the irony to me yesterday was the defense then held after that fumble, and he got one last hurrah. He got a chance to save the day. And he tried to throw it to Lil Snead at the goal line, if we could see this pass. And I thought this was the one play where he needed to bolt the pocket and buy time to get somebody open in the end zone because he just tried to force that. That's almost into triple zone coverage. It's not going to work. He threw it. It was a really good throw. It's the only place you could throw it. Snead's a small receiver anyway, but Fitzpatrick's going to get up and
it's
knock
something that, like you said, Skip, is going to have to be, you're going to have to break the pocket and buy time. Kind of like what Drew Lock did yesterday against the Broncos. You see, he break contain, bought himself some time. A situation like this, to hit a play on rhythm like that, unless they completely blow the coverage, that's probably not going to happen.
Because they came in the #1 team on defense in yards allowed.
Right.
They're really good.
Yes.
So you're going to have to then use your legs. So he's got the identity crisis going, should I break the pocket? Should I stay in the pocket? Am I a pocket passer? Am I a runner? It's hard, man. It all fell right last year.
Just be a winner. That's all it's going to come down to. It's going to come down. Nobody is going to care how you win. They just want to say that you won. And Lamar hasn't played well in these games. He hasn't played well. He had historic numbers, Skip, against the Titans. But we all know they were empty calories.
Yep.
They were down 28. Those numbers meant nothing.
No.
We saw what happened against San Diego. The LA Chargers. Skip, they were down by so much. Yeah, he mounted a comeback, but they were empty calories.
In the fourth quarter, they were already out of it.
Right. And Mahomes.
Remember, they were the home crowd was chanting for Flacco.
They wanted to bring Flacco back in. He's going to have to play better in these moments because these are defining moments. Yeah, Cleveland, that's nice. You beat Cleveland. Yeah, you beat Cincinnati. Okay, yeah. But it's games like this. Brady made his name beating Peyton Manning, beating other big-time quarterbacks, playing big in the regular season. And that's what you're going to have to do in order to get there. You look at Drew Brees, that historic run that he went on, he beat Peyton Manning, he beat